Hey business owners, welcome back to the 44-day challenge. I'm Scott Duke. We're on day 33 here. This challenge, of course, is to review almost every book Amazon sells on how to sell your business and get the information out to you guys where it can be put to best use. So today we are reviewing a book called Sell Your Business, Simple and Effective Advice to Seal the Deal by Huberta Neustetter. So Huberta is a business broker out of South Africa and has been in the field for a while. Now this book is quite short. It's Kindle Unlimited. Again, $10 gets you a month, gets you a Kindle Unlimited account, and you can always have 10 books in it. It's a great way to continually upgrade your knowledge. But her book is only about 36 pages. So it was really easy for me to get through this one this morning, and it still brought out some good information that I'm going to cover with you guys today. So Huberta states that it is important to value your assets. And I strongly agree with her. And for some reason, it's painful for people to do this. I don't know why, but every business that I seem to work with, it's always a struggle to pull them through this exercise. It's so incredibly important to have this done before you bring a buyer to the table. And when you're talking about assets, and at least in her book, she's talking about just tangible assets. She's talking about land, property, inventory, vehicles, other boats, whatever it might be, equipment, goodwill, and trademarks, that kind of thing. So these are all items that are going to show up on your balance sheet. The major thing that Huberta says that she finds, and I completely agree with her and can echo her sentiments, is that people don't necessarily have these accurate on their balance sheet. They may have told their accountant a certain amount of inventory and they never counted their inventory. Or they may have vehicles that are older and they haven't depreciated enough, or maybe they've depreciated too much. Their equipment might be outdated and it's on the balance sheet as if it's a bit newer. It hasn't been depreciated quickly enough. So all of these things need to be looked at. So what you're representing on your balance sheet is actually accurate. And again, we talk about accuracy a lot in these videos because it's incredibly important that you're accurate. So when a buyer goes through due diligence and they're confirming what you've stated, it comes up to be true so that you build trust so you can actually sell the company, because people buy stuff off who they know, like, and trust. So this is really a big part of building the trust component. So this land and property piece, it's going to cost you some money to get an appraisal, but that's important, right? And the banks are going to want it anyhow. Then your inventory. This isn't going to take you much except for time. It's going to take your time, and it's an effort that you need to put in. It's mandatory. You got to do this. Get a good idea. Get an exact number for what your inventory currently sits at. Then your vehicles, of course, you can get them. Just go on Kijiji, go on Auto Trader, figure out what those things are worth right now. Your equipment. If you're a manufacturing company, there's no question here, you need to get an equipment appraisal. Again, it's going to cost you some money. These aren't massive dollars at the end of the day. You're talking, I don't know, $2,500, maybe $5,000 to do all of this. And it's going to build so much trust in your buyer. It'll be the best money you've ever spent. Okay. And then your goodwill. This is if you purchase the company off somebody else. So what's left in your goodwill and your trademarks. And then that's going to update your balance sheet. So this is what she's saying. Value your assets. It's an incredible, it's worth the time. In fact, it's mandatory. You just got to do it. You're going to do it at some point anyway. And it's better to do it before you sit down with a buyer, before a buyer starts looking at your company, because you're going to be prepared for it. And you're going to catch all those problems instead of the buyer catching them. That's the worst case scenario. Okay, the second thing we pulled out of this book is continue operating and stocking your business at normal levels. So what will sometimes happen is you're getting close to that finish line of selling your company, you'll mentally check out, you'll wind down a little bit, like, I'm not going to do that next order because the new buyer can do the order, or I'm not going to fix that broken down fridge because the next buyer, the buyer can do that and it'll be on his dime. That thought process is erroneous. It kills deals, because if you're not keeping your stock levels up, if you're not keeping your equipment up, that will come back and bite you on the buns like crazy when you go to finalize the deal, because it always comes up, right? So just keep everything running at normal levels, because at the end of the day, the deal might fall through and you're going to have the business anyway, so you might as well make sure that it's operating properly. Okay, and the next one is a net worth statement I put here, and it's not exactly how she states it in the book, but she's talking about figuring out if the buyer actually has the capacity to purchase your company. We do this
up front early very often because it's so important. Like there's no point in working with a buyer that doesn't have the cash or doesn't have the ability to get the cash off of a bank because they don't have the assets necessary to secure the loan. So what you want is you want a net worth statement from any potential buyers. This is easy. Like, how do I get this? Just go on the internet, type in net worth statement. It'll give you a blank form. You'll be able to pull one off there, and you can use it and adjust it how you feel necessary. But then get any potential buyer to fill this out as well when they're filling out their confidentiality statements. So, all right, the camera died, but that was actually a good time for it to die because that's the end of our video. Anyhow, again, the book is by Huberta Neustetter, and it's Sell Your Business. All right, you can find that on Kindle Unlimited. Thanks again for tuning in. Day 33. We'll see you again tomorrow on day 34. I'm Scott Duke. Thanks again.